Hi, this is Brian. Welcome back to another Heroic Plus One. In our last Plus One, we talked about my top 3 work targets as I encouraged you to get clarity on and then commit to and hit your top 3 targets. These are my top 3 work targets. 1, recommit to my sacred vow. Number 2, do my number 1 win. And number 3, shut down complete. What, I ask again, are your top 3 work targets? Number 1, number 2, and number 3. Today, I want to chat a little more about my number 1 work target, recommitting to my sacred vow. I have done this every day for over a year and a half. It has been an incredibly powerful thing for me, and I've been told by many people that it's inspired them to create their own sacred vows. So let's chat a little more about it today. But first, a little more context. As you know, if you've been following along, on election night 2020, I founded Heroic Public Benefit Corporation. And a couple days later, I learned that the crowdfunding regulations were changing, such that startups like ours could go from raising a max of $1 million via the existing regulations to raising a max of $5 million of capital via those crowdfunding regulations. Now, it was one of those moments in my life when I didn't think we could do it. I knew we would be the very first company to ever raise $5 million via the new regulations. Of course, all that's nice and warm and fuzzy, and then we had to actually do it, and long story a little shorter, we did. On March 23rd, 2021, with the support of 2,432 heroic founding investors from 75 countries around the world, we made history as the very first company to raise $5 million via those new regulations. Now, before it all became official, I had to electronically sign some documents. And before I did that, I went on a walk on our property, reflecting on the magnitude of the commitment I was making to our community. It felt like I was making a lifetime commitment to our investors that was nearly on par with the commitment I made to Alexandra when we got married. So I decided that I should make a sacred vow. And this is what I wrote. I, Brian Johnson, absolutely and fiercely commit to honoring your investment in me and in Heroic by doing my best to make you proud to be a part of our movement. I hereby make a sacred vow to you and to everyone else in our community to honor my fundamentals and to practice my philosophy. Of course, I will not be perfect and I cannot promise any particular outcomes, and I will certainly make mistakes. But I promise you that I will show up day in and day out and do everything in my power to fulfill our mission, to change the world, one person at a time, together, starting with you and me today. Then I said, with love, wisdom, self-mastery, and courage, I say, heroes, unite. And that's the vow I reread and recommit to every single morning. Again, ultimately, this plus one has nothing to do with me. It's about you. The question is there a sacred vow that you and your daimon would like to draft? Perhaps we can spend a moment or 3 thinking about that right now. What do you got? Target swipe, all in. Let's go. Here's to our sacred vows.